the condition of not being able to think of what to write or even proceed with writing with which you started with is simply called the writer's block. And writer's block is something that is very common amongst creatives. Everybody that is a creative writer, a musician, at some point or more than one point suffers from writer's block. My name is OC Blue and you're welcome back to my channel. So I'll be taking you through a few steps on how to get through writer's block whenever it happens. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. Feel free to share and also like the video and turn on the post notification bell so you can get all my posts as soon as I upload. The first way of getting over a writer's block is actually clearing out the cobwebs in your head. And what are these cobwebs? You know, like every day we go through different realities, different struggles that actually interfere with our creative processes in our head. So the way you clear out these cobwebs from your head is simply by writing out these cobwebs, these thoughts, these disturbances that interfere with your creative writing in your brain. Say for instance, you are wondering, you are thinking of how to solve a problem or problems that are actually bothering you in real life. Just take out the sheet of paper and write out those thoughts. No matter how disturbing they might be, just write them down to your satisfaction. Feel free to write as much as you want to write. And after writing, read them, and after reading them, simply squeeze it and throw it away. That is the first step to clearing and battling writer's block. If you suffer writer's block as an artist, clear the cobwebs from your head. The second step of battling writer's block is actually taking your inner self on a date. How do you take your inner self on a date? Yeah, it sounds absurd, but yes, you have to actually take your inner self on a date. Assume yourself, your inner artist, your inner creative, your inner musician is someone you just met and you are trying to impress. So you have to take your inner self on a date. You know, talk things through with your inner self, you know, like you're getting to know yourself from the beginning, like you've never known yourself again. It actually works, you know, because sometimes we get lost with our day-to-day struggle and trying to make ends meet, and we just lose touch of our true self. So treat your inner self like a special person, like a woman, or if you're a woman, like a man that you just met and you're madly in love with. That is how you take your inner self, your inner artist on a date, so you can get some fresh ideas and talk to yourself like you're just meeting yourself for the first time. And if taking yourself out on a date, your inner self out on a date doesn't work, how about writing a letter to the younger version of yourself or even the older version of yourself? Take for instance, you write a letter to the 70-year-old you, your future, like what you envision to be like when you're 70. Try to picture what it's like when you are 70. You could write to your older self, or you could write to yourself as a younger child. That is your past, you know. Write a letter to yourself when you were, say, 7, like what you enjoy doing, what your earliest passions were. You could actually try and merge your older self and your younger self together, and you will meet yourself in the middle. That is putting the past and the future together and bringing yourself to the present. That is another way of relieving your mind and a very good way to tackle writer's block if you're suffering from one as an artist, if you're unable to write or continue writing. You could also try collaborations. You could try collaborating with somebody, you know, but very selective collaborations. You can collaborate with someone who has the same mindset as yourself, someone who thinks in the same way as yourself, someone that reasons like you, someone that both of you come from the same school of thoughts to tackle writer's block. It might not necessarily be to actually make a song, or both of you could come together to put something into writing, share ideas together and put something into writing. It also helps a lot in tackling writer's block. If you suffer from writer's block as an artist, it helps. And yes, you can also change your point of view when you write. How do I mean point of view? Changing your point of view. Let's say, for instance, you usually write as a first person. And first person being, whenever you write, use words like I, me. When you use words like I and me, it means you are talking about your own self, like your own personal experience when you write. You could change it to using the second person, like us and we. You understand what I'm saying? Us and we. If that doesn't work, you can change it using a third person, writing from a third person point of view, using terms like they, he, and she. And when you use a third person's point of view, you distance yourself away from the narrative. So sometimes it is easier for you to write when you're talking about somebody else's story, and it works a whole lot. If you're suffering from writer's block at any point in time, try that method. Or you could even go through all your write-ups and see the one that you least use in most cases, and you take from that point of view that you least use and put it into writing, and see if you can actually clear out your head to tackle writer's block if you suffer from writer's block temporarily. You can also change your pattern of writing. Change your pattern of writing. It works. Like when I say change your pattern of writing, let's assume you are mostly consumed by starting off with writing out your lyrics before you think about your melodies. You could actually start off by working on your melodies first before you start writing your lyrics. It goes a very, very long way in clearing out writer's block. In case you suffer from writer's block, change your pattern of writing, change the approach with which you write your songs, your music, whatever it is you're writing. Just change that approach, that pattern. It also helps. Like, it helps very, very well. You can try it and see. It works like magic. Yeah. And also, another good way to tackle writer's block is steal from greater writers, greater musicians than yourself. And by stealing, what exactly do I mean by stealing? You can listen to a couple of songs, that you enjoy listening to, or you don't even enjoy listening to, and after you hear, you get new ideas. Remember, no idea is original. Nothing is new under the sun. Even the songs you're listening to, they probably got their ideas, they probably stole it from some other person that was greater than them. So when you listen to those kind of songs, try to steal as much as you can, and then recycle it and put it in your own words, put it in your own reality, and it will actually help in tackling out writer's block if you suffer from writer's block. And by suffering from writer's block, I mean the condition of not being able to write or even proceed with what you started writing. So, like what they say, good artists copy, but great artists actually steal. So feel free to steal from whoever you want to steal from, but put it in your own words, put it in your own reality, make it original, own what you're stealing. Own it. And yes, also you can find inspiration in quotes, like daily quotes. You read a quote and it moves you, it motivates you. You can find inspiration in quotes. Trust me, there are a lot of powerful quotes that you can actually read or go through, and it will help open your mind and expand your horizon on how to tackle writer's block. It works. Like, whatever quotes you see, you look at it and you interpret it in the best way possible for yourself. It goes a long way in tackling writer's block if you happen to suffer from writer's block at any point in time. Find inspiration in quotes. And yes, whenever you suffer writer's block, don't be ashamed. Don't overwork yourself. As soon as you are feeling that inability to write and proceed with your writing, leave all your writing alone completely. Stand up, take a walk. You could stroll to wherever you want to stroll to, get some air, get some fresh air. Talk to people, talk to a friend, chat to a friend, talk to a loved one about don't do anything related to music. It doesn't have to really be related to music. You could talk about small unimportant things that don't even matter at all, that on a very good day you won't be found talking about. Just talk about it, because you're trying to draw your mind from different angles and different perspectives of how people see things. You understand? So whenever you step out of that your work, whenever you're writing, talk to people. If you're a smoker, I'm not advising for smoking though, but if you're a smoker, you could just take like a few drags of whatever you smoke and clear your head. Talk, watch the TV, watch movies too. Yeah, movies also help. It could help you open up your mind and or you could also drink some water, you can drink some juice, you could just step away from what it was you were writing so you could get new inspiration. And trust me, by the time you come back to what you're doing, you'll find out that you'll be more energized and more inspired, simply because you've probably seen something outside, heard something, smelled something, or even felt something throughout the period of time you left what it was you were doing and stepped outside to get some fresh air and do something that is not related to music. You could do some chores as well. So it is something that actually energizes and gives you a fresh inspiration completely. So this is another way to tackle writer's block. If you suffer from writer's block at any point in time, it goes a long way and it helps. Another helpful way to tackle writer's block is having a recorder with you at all times. If you don't have a portable recorder, then you could record using your phone in case there are some lyrical ideas that come to your mind when you are away from the studio or away from what you're writing. Like when I mentioned that change your writing pattern, it could be that when you change your writing pattern, you don't have access to the studio at that point in time, and there's a chorus or a hook that hits you. Just take out that recorder and record whatever it is that comes to your mind. It helps, because sometimes we could get stuck with when you put pen to paper and you're trying to write, you're trying to make sense every time you write. But when it comes freely, when it comes just like very organically like that, and you just take out your recorder and record whatever it is that comes to your mind, even if you are talking gibberish, as long as the melody is there, you record it, and later on you can find words to fix into it that goes with that melody. So it is important to have a recorder with you at all times in case the inspiration hits you anywhere at any time. So you just give like if you're in a crowded place where there's a lot of noise, you could actually hurry off and go to somewhere quiet and record what came to your mind or what comes to your mind. So this is another way to actually tackle writer's block if you happen to have writer's block at any point in time. Another helpful way to tackle writer's block is using your emotions. This is very important, and most times it is overlooked. By your emotions, what I mean is, let's say for instance you're in love, or let's say for instance you're suffering from heartbreak, or let's say for instance you are angry at that point in time, or you are feeling happy, you're excited, or you're just feeling on top of the world. Use that energy, tap into the energy of your emotions to write, and it will come very naturally because you are not making up stuff about how you feel at that point. So using your emotions is a very, very helpful way to tackle writer's block. If you suffer from writer's block at any point in time, always go back to your emotions. Delve into your inner self. That's what I was saying before. Take your inner self on a date. Use your inner self, your emotions, to write case you suffer from writer's block at any point in time. Last but not the least, use your dreams. Try to dream. A lot of good songs come to us by dreaming. You know, when you close your eyes to sleep, there are kind of melodies that come to your head. You know, try to always be open to dreaming. You know, like this way of tackling writer's block is not commonly practiced by writers or by musicians generally, unless you open your mind to that. You know, because when your mind is at rest, when you are asleep, your subconscious works faster than it normally would when you are awake. So, and your brain even processes faster. So there are a lot of ideas that could come to you in your sleep while you are sleeping. There are very notable artists that got inspiration of one of their biggest songs, some of their biggest songs, while they were asleep. They got those inspirations while they were asleep, while they dreamed. That is why it's always good to dare to dream. You know, even if it's a nightmare, try to turn those nightmares into dreams, and you see that it is also a very good way to tackle writer's block whenever you feel like you are going through difficulty in putting stuff together when you write. It's been helpful in tackling writer's block. Just put it in practice and see how it works out. You know, everybody suffers from writer's block. Is not something that you should feel ashamed of or you should feel depressed about. As soon as you suffer writer's block, just go through these steps that I gave to you again. You understand me? So that'll be all for now, folks. You know, I have to get back to my own writing, you know, like yeah. So I remain yours truly, OC Blue, even though I'm wearing a pink shirt, and I'm Sway all day. Remain blessed, y'all. And yeah, feel free to share this video, subscribe, like, and turn on the post notification bell to get more of my videos as soon as I post. From now on, I'ma just go back to what I was doing, and you know what it is, man.